Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Bread and Butter. My name is Malonga Muchalemba, and I am the founder of Ongolo.com, a Pan-African website whose main objective is to keep Africans connected and engaged and to promote Africa and Africans. Bread and Butter is my business segment, and it provides a platform for small and medium enterprises to showcase their products and services. Tonight, I'm really excited because we're talking about one of my favorite subjects, jewelry. And I'm delighted to have on the program Mukosha Mulenga, who is the CEO and founder of Eleora Gems in Zambia. Mukosha, welcome to the program.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for reaching out on Twitter and asking if you could be on my program. I'm really proud that you're a Zambian as well.
Great.
So I thought we would kick off by actually just getting a sense of who you are and what you're about. So what's your story?
Well, actually, I'm an IT expert by profession. I studied business information systems. I worked in the IT sector for a number of years until management level. I kind of got bored. Then I started my own IT consultancy firm, which still runs, but I was not really fulfilled per se. So a few years ago, I just decided, let me just follow my passion, which is gemstones, and here I am now.
Wow. So when did you start Eleora?
Eleora was officially started in 2018 as a business, but I've been collecting and been in the gemstone industry for about 13 years now. So I used to be a gemstone hobbyist, collect gemstones, try to sell gemstones, and we just decided let's try some value addition. And it kind of started by accident, actually. My wife had a friend who also loved gemstones. She happened to be Chinese. And she liked one of my stones, and she told me she's only going to buy it from me if I could make a piece of jewelry for her. And I didn't have the experience at the time, but I took up the challenge, and that's how Eleora was born.
And you told me a story about the name as well, which I thought was really great.
Eleora is actually Hebrew. It means God's light. It's something special to me because I became a Christian. I turned my life to God, to Christ, and I wanted a business that reflects who I am now. So Eleora actually means God's light, and we believe all the gemstones that we make and all the jewelry that we make brings light to the people out there.
Oh, that's a beautiful story. And actually it brings us into our next question, which is just help people understand exactly what products and services you offer and what makes you different from your high street jewelry store, for example.
We customize. We have decided to focus on customization. So it's bespoke jewelry in silver and gold. Now the gold has 3 ranges. We have the yellow gold, we have the white gold, and we have the rose gold. And we're hoping to offer platinum pieces as well. We do resizing as well, resizes, and after service polishing, cleaning of jewelry. And in the next few months, we hope to offer an appraisal service as well.
Okay. And you educated me earlier today because for some reason I thought that white gold was mine. So
no, white
to us actually how white gold is arrived at. So you offer three metals. So you said you've got your yellow gold, white gold, and silver.
Rose gold and silver.
Rose gold. So what is actually mine and what is processed? Could you just walk us through how these products come about?
All right, so silver comes from the ground, mined from the ground.
Okay.
All we do is purify it. So we use what's called silver 999, which is like 99.9% pure silver. I think most people are more accustomed to sterling silver, which is called silver 925. So that's an alloy is added to it, usually copper, just to give it some more strength. But because we handcraft everything, we don't need that strength when we're filing and when we're making the jewelry. And we like to keep it pure. So we use silver 999. So that is pure silver. And then in the gold range, It's actually according to the client's taste. We can offer 9 carats, 14, 15, 18, 22. We try to shy away from 24 karat gold because it's a bit too soft. When gold is really pure, it's really, really soft. So it's not really ideal for making jewelry. We can do it, but we know the client is going to have a few issues with it in the long run because of the strength. It's just a bit too malleable.
Yeah, I've heard that. So how do you make white gold?
Well, in our case, we use silver alloy and then we rhodium plate it. I think I will show you the rhodium plating process as we go along.
Okay, should we go into that now?
You can make white gold directly from yellow gold if you add palladium alloy, but we use a silver alloy and then rhodium plate it.
Okay, do you want us to get into the videos and show people exactly what you do? Because I was really fascinated by that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're going to start with this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go off camera so that you can explain to people exactly what's going on in this process.
Okay.
So that's the rough
So that's
stone.
a rough piece of moonstone that I am just starting to cut and polish. The process is called the lapidary process. Anyone who cuts and polishes gemstone is called a lapidarist. So that's a skill I acquired over the years.
And how long does this take you?
Well, it depends on the complexity of the cut we're doing. Simple cuts can take like an hour. A more complex cut can take 5 to 6 hours or even more. So that's the finish of moonstone.
Why is it called moonstone?
If you look at the stone, it gives you a blue kind of gray shine to it.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like the color of the moon. So it was just dubbed moonstone.
Wow. Okay, so you got that first video, and then you have a second one. Let me just play this.
That's a production process. That's a citroen set we're making. So over there, we're smelting the metal, and we were adding diamonds to the jewelry. So we're just making sure that each and every piece of diamond that we put in it is actually genuine. And that's the stones being set, the metal being ground, ready for more setting, just to make sure the stones sit properly. That's the polishing process. We're polishing the metal over there.
And is this everything? You do all these steps by yourself? And
no, I actually work with some skilled goldsmiths and silversmiths. So most of the stones are cut by myself, but of course you can't wear all the hats in a business. And I would just be really inefficient if I did everything by myself. So I do work with a few people to have the jewelry actually made.
Okay, wow, that's really fascinating. And how long typically do you take to make some of these jewels?
Ideally, it takes 3 to 5 working days, but in some cases it might be more. And if it does exceed the 3 to 5 working days, of course, we need to communicate with the client. It's just because of the complexity of what we're doing, and also we just have to have everything perfect, because when you're customizing, you can't miss anything. I mean, any small mistake, I mean, it ruins the whole piece. So sometimes we go back and forth just to make sure we get the piece absolutely perfect before we send it out.
Okay, and I mean, so Mukosha and I talked earlier, and we thought it would be great to show everybody some of the amazing products and stones that his company works with. So we're going to showcase a few. And Mom, I know you're watching the show, so hi. My mom turned 70 this year, so I promised her that I'll buy her a piece of jewelry. So if she can please let me know which of these she likes, then you and I can talk after the show. So we're going to start with the first one. Sorry, we'll start with the first one that you said was one of your favorite. So what's the story and what's the stone?
This is a tanzanite, and we set this one in silver. And the stones around it are cubic zirconia. Now, this one is kind of special to me. We made this one quite recently. The couple getting married, well, the groom came up to me and said he really wanted tanzanite for his bride. But the quotes he was getting were just out of this world. It was really expensive. And you know how it is when you're a young man trying to get married, you're on a tight budget. But he really, really wanted this stone. So we kept talking. I think we spoke for like 2 or 3 months. And one day, a friend of mine just called me up and said, listen, I have some Tanzanite. If you have anyone looking, let me know. So obviously, he's the first guy who popped into my mind. And I called him up, said, listen, there's some Tanzanite pieces. I'd like you to have a look and just tell me what you think. So we met up, had a cup of coffee. We went through the pieces one at a time, and he loved this particular piece. It was 3.5 carats, Quadro A, perfect quality. The quality is just amazing. So he loved it, and he asked me to quote him for it. And believe it or not, my quote was less than half the price of his lowest quote.
So do you mind telling us how much this would cost?
Ideally, cost about $1,200, $1,200.
Wow. And so just actually, let me pose here, because I don't think you raised this before. One of the things that you said that you sell to your clients is not just a piece of jewelry, but the whole experience of the jewelry.
Yes.
You want to just tell people that?
Yeah, we try to sell a shopping experience, because when you buy a piece of Eleora jewelry, it shouldn't just be a piece, it should mean something. So we take time to sit down with our clients to get to know what they like, what they don't like, so that when they have a piece from us, it's exactly what they're looking for. It's a whole process, and it does take time. And we don't mind that it takes time, because at the end of the day, we want people to get exactly what they want. So during that process, we get pretty close with our clients. We get to know them pretty well. Some of them have actually become family now because of the time that we spend together, just to, what do you want? What colors do you want? What metal do you want? What do you want it to look like? The sky is the limit, really. So that's the experience that people have when they buy stuff from us, rather than, just walking into a high-end shop and getting a piece of jewelry. I mean, that's easy. Anyone can just walk into a store, I like this, pay for it, and walk out. But what about going somewhere and saying, I want this to look like this, I like it to look like this, and I want it to mean something to me, so that when they go away with that piece of jewelry, they always have it in the back of their head that this is something that I actually wanted, this is something I love, it won't go out of fashion for me, I can pass it on to my children, to my grandchildren. There's a story to tell.
I love it. And how do people find you? So you talked about your friend with the stone, but how did the client actually hear that you're available to make this?
Well, we're available online. We are on Instagram, on Facebook. We did have a store at one of the local malls that we shut down recently. We're looking for a better location now where we can have everything in-house, because we had the store there and the workshop somewhere else. So we're just trying to have everything in-house. So for now, we are online, Instagram, Facebook. Anyone can give us a call, Facebook, WhatsApp, and we'll meet them at their convenience.
And you said your website will be coming up in the next couple of weeks.
We're hoping to have it up on Friday, actually. We're trying to go the route of having an online store. That's mainly because the designs that I create are starting to get accepted publicly. So I'll be offering my designs on the store, just for anyone who's looking for something quick to buy.
Okay. And one thing actually we forgot to cover is your client base, because it's not just Zambians who are buying jewelry today.
Not at all. Of course, when we started out, it was mainly Zambia, but over time, I think people have gained more trust in us. So we've got clients from the US, we've got clients from the UK, we've got clients from Japan. The world is interconnected now, and we're tapping into it.
Oh, I think it's amazing. One of my colleagues here in Singapore absolutely loves Tanzanite. So I have sent her the picture for your rings and some of your products, and hopefully you'll get some business from Singapore as well, other than you. Okay, so the next stone we're going to look at was this beautiful pink, what is this, a tourmaline?
That's a pink tourmaline, yeah. And that I cut that stone myself. It's a custom cut. And I came up with a design myself, set it in silver, and added a few diamonds just to add a bit of bedazzle to it.
So why do you like tourmalines? You said that's one of your favorite gemstones.
Tourmalines are my favorite gemstone. They come in such a wide array of colors. A tourmaline, you never get bored of a tourmaline. I mean, look at every other gemstone. you're limited in the color range, like an emerald. You know, an emerald is supposed to be green. Look at amethyst. You know, amethyst is supposed to be purple. But when you say tourmaline,
I got my amethyst right here.
Tourmaline can be any color you can think of, the whole rainbow spectrum. So, and it's amazing for someone like me who cuts as well, because depending on which angle you cut it from, you get a different result. So it always gives you a good surprise at the end of it all. So tourmaline is a really exciting stone for me.
And where in Zambia do we find tourmaline?
Almost everywhere, actually. The most common is the eastern province of Zambia. But Central Province has tourmalines, Southern Province has tourmalines, Western Province has tourmalines. You can find it pretty much everywhere in Zambia.
So is this like anybody can mine the stuff, or is this from
No.
mining companies?
You do need to have a mining license. There are government regulations. You have to do it properly.
Wow. Okay. All right. So we're going to see something else. Let me see what else you have. Oh, this is something I would love to buy from you.
Peridot. That is a peridot in white gold and diamonds. All those stones you see around it are diamonds. A pretty special stone. Made it for a friend of mine. He is getting engaged soon, so it was a pretty nice piece to make.
And just explain to us as well, where do the diamonds come from?
The diamonds I do import because we cannot cut them to that size here yet. So we do import the diamonds either from Europe or Asia.
But that's the finished, and in Botswana?
That's finished diamonds only, not rough diamonds, no.
Okay, and Botswana as well?
Yeah, and Botswana as well. We do get a few pieces from Botswana.
And roughly how much would a piece like this cost?
1,600.
Okay, US.
US dollars, yeah. Everything's quoted in US just to keep everything nice and simple for everyone.
Okay, and what about the tumbling before? How much did that cost?
That one was about $265 because it's set in silver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving away from rings, you've got this beautiful neck piece.
Yeah,
and this was a heated stone?
Yes, that's a choker that I designed myself and had it made. Now, the stone I used in this, it was originally an amethyst, so it was purple. But
So
after the heat treatment process, it came out that golden color, golden yellow. And after cutting, it was just amazing. So we made something to kind of mimic an authentic African look. This is going to be what some of my range is going to look like. We're going to have a specific African range, and we're going to call it Mfumukazi, which means princess, African princess. So it will have earrings, chokers, necklaces, and they will all have an African theme to it. So it's something that our ladies can wear for the functions that they love going to, you know, like the kitchen parties and stuff like that, any traditional event. But they'll stand out from the crowd. Yeah, they'll stand out from the crowd because it will be something different, completely different. We see a lot of beaded jewelry, which is great. But what about having metal and gemstone jewelry? I think that's even better.
Wow. And what was the occasion? Oh, is this just like your design? Or
yeah, that's just something I wanted to do just to, you know, keep my creative juices flowing. It's simple, but it's elegant, and you can wear it for almost any occasion you can think of.
I love the simplicity. And actually, could you do a design where you've got different stones, like a sort of like a charm bracelet for those who like? Yeah. I really like that. So I'm crazy about this. And you have something else here. This is another ring that you did. What's the story?
That's an engagement ring for someone in the US. So the groom wanted aquamarine, and he wanted it specifically from Zambia because his wife-to-be is Zambian. And we actually went around looking for these aquamarines. We traveled quite a bit to find the special kind of aquamarine he wanted. And we made it in white gold and diamonds, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it.
Wow. Wow, I love that too. And then we've got another piece. Let's see what this, I think this is the one that was in the video.
Yes, that is the one that was in the video. That's white gold, diamonds, and citroen, a full set. So you have your earrings, you have your pendant, and you have your chain.
And citroen is, I think, November stone, right?
Is the November birthstone. So you have citroen and yellow topaz.
That's why I wear a lot of this color, and you can
It's a
see.
beautiful color. It's a golden color. It's beautiful, and citroen has such a beautiful glow.
I agree. But actually, what would be great at this point is, could you help us talk about the birthstone? So your traditional stone, like I think emerald is what, May or
May,
yeah?
May. I hope I can remember all of them. So January we have the garnets, and garnets also come in a wide variety of colors, which is not known to many people. So red garnet, you have your spessartite garnet, you've got your rhodolite garnet. They're all different colors, and that's for January. Then February, you've got your amethyst.
Oh.
The purple stone, the stone of royalty.
Oh, I got this from your competitor, Jagoda, with my friend Megan, who's
our friends.
your friend. So actually, I don't know if you can see this, but that's amethyst from Zambia, and that's a blue topaz. Maybe you can explain to people why my topaz is blue.
Well, blue topaz in particular starts out as a colorless stone and is heat treated to get that blue color that you have. So the better the heat treatment, the better color that you get at the end of it all.
And what month is a topaz or a blue topaz?
Well, blue topaz doesn't ideally have a month, I think, but yellow topaz I know is for November. I might have it mixed up a bit, but
okay.
I know yellow topaz is November.
Okay. And what about March babies? What do they?
Aquamarine.
Oh.
The beautiful blue aquamarine. That's another fantastic stone. Aquamarine has brilliance to it. It's got different shades of blue. It's a really, really nice stone and looks really nice in yellow gold.
Okay, so yellow gold and aquamarine, and then May is emerald, which is also yellow gold.
Yeah, and then well, it's up to client preference really, but ideally I would put it in yellow gold.
Yeah, so I'm wearing I don't know if you can see this, but the dot is an emerald from Zambia, also bought from Jagoda, and it's set in pink sapphires from Sri Lanka. But I now want to make like I've asked Mukosha to make me some emeralds, and we're going to talk about this in addition to my mom's birthday present. So we'll have to figure out what to get. But emerald is gold, is yellow gold.
Ideally, I mean, like I said, it's up to client preference, and for me, yellow gold just looks brilliant.
Okay. And what about June?
June, we have the moonstone, actually, the stone I was cutting.
Oh, okay. And that's readily available in Zambia?
It is. It's found in the northern part of Zambia. So Mchinga province, Lopula province, that sector of Zambia, that's where you find the moonstone. And it's pretty good moonstone that we have here as well.
Okay. And what about July?
Oh my God, I cannot remember the July. I cannot remember. But I know August. What is August? August must be Peridot, I think.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Megan, is your birthday in August? My friend Megan has said August. Peridot is her stone. What about September? Let me check.
Sapphire. I can never forget September.
Okay. And October?
October is actually Tourmaline month.
So you're right. Megan's birthday is in August. So Peridot is hers. And July is Ruby. How could you forget?
I don't know. Maybe we're not doing too many ruby pieces at the moment.
So, and actually you said we have rubies available in Zambia, which I didn't know about.
Yes, it is mined in some small patches in the northern part of Zambia. The quality is not fantastic, but we mine rubies.
Okay, so Paul has said April was skipped, Vane.
Sorry, Paul. April is the diamond. So if you have someone in April, my friend, get your pocket ready.
And Megan, thank you so much for sending me the whole list. You're right. Peridot is your stone, and it's actually my angel stone. So I've been looking for it, and that's why we showcase that ring. And September is sapphire, which you said. October is pink tourmaline.
Tourmaline and the watermelon tourmaline.
Okay, and opal as well. And then November is topaz, yellow topaz.
Then I think come to December, you have your Tanzanite somewhere there in December.
Yeah, and blue zircon. So actually, I've got on this ring, my birthday present. Oh, where's my camera? Is yellow topaz. No, yellow zircon with champagne diamonds.
Nice.
Thank you. So this is 7 carats, not made in Zambia, but hopefully in time we'll get one. And then I also wear jade from Taiwan, but we don't have jade stones in Zambia, so I guess emerald is the closest.
Jade is mainly mined in Asia.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So let's actually look at some of the questions that people have asked. So Megan's asked a question on GIA certified. Oh, what are you? She's asked a follow-up question actually. Let me show this one instead.
What are your certifications? Colored gemstones. We're certified in colored gemstones. So if you actually go on the GIA website and search for Eleora Gems, you'll find our store there.
And actually, you said you're the only gemstone company in Zambia that's on the GIA website.
The only gemstone company in Zambia who are GIA certified.
Okay. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Megan. And yes, I've got your hint about your birthday, so we will definitely have to talk because I want some as well. Let's see. So we've got quite a few people watching. So my mom is watching attentively. Mom, I hope you picked the kind of stone that you like. But her birthday is in October, which is pink tourmaline. Perfect. Okay, so we've sorted that out. And we've got someone called Tazi Linda who's talking about the experience. I don't know if this is one of your clients, but I think that's actually quite important that you get customized jewelry and the options that you get. So we talked about the procurement of your stone briefly, but can you just tell us what the process is for this? Because you're saying that the stones are available all over Zambia, but how do you actually source them?
Well, in some occasions I do travel. We've made some good networks with some small-scale miners. But in most cases, the small-scale miners actually come to us. So when they bring the material, I vet them personally. I vet the stones to make sure that we're only getting the best quality stones. And we also make sure that the people we're buying from are not engaged in any child labor. We're into the ethical sourcing. So when we do our travels, we do actually visit some of these mines to make sure that the mining practice is done properly, and they're friendly to the environment.
So how do you do that exactly? I didn't know that people were sensitive to that.
Well, ethical mining is quite a big thing because you might have heard a few years ago there was the whole issue of the blood diamonds.
Yeah, abroad. I just didn't know it was in Zambia.
Yeah, conflict region diamonds. So people kind of shied away from diamonds when they found out exactly how they were coming onto market before they're in jewelry. So it's kind of moved into colored gemstones as well. So we have to be very careful who we're dealing with and make sure that the people we're buying from are doing things properly. So they have to have their mining license. And if they have their mining license, it means the government has checked out their small-scale mine, and made sure that they're mining according to the standards.
Okay. And so how do your suppliers find you?
Well, they come we have an office set up in the industrial area of Lusaka. So they come there and bring their material, and we just have a friendly chat on prices.
And what is the range of prices? Like, what is the cheaper stone of the ones that we've discussed today, and what are the more expensive ones, so that people who are sitting here and looking at the jewelry that you showcased are wondering what should they buy, what can they afford?
So on the lower end, we have the quartz family. So that's your citroens, your rose quartz, your clear quartz, and your amethyst. That's pretty much our low end benchmark. So those stones are, I won't say cheap, they're on the lower side.
Oh my God, there goes my ring. Bye.
So they're all in the quartz family, and the quartz family is stones that are found in abundance pretty much. But Zambia has some of the best quality amethyst in the world from Kalomo. The amethyst that comes from Kalomo is just amazing. It's out of this world. And when we have that kind of amethyst, we do sell it at a premium because it's hard to find. And then we move on to some garnets. Garnets are more on the higher end scale, and Then
Okay.
we move into the aquamarines. Then we start moving on to the big boys, the emeralds, the sapphires, the tourmalines. Those are quite pricey.
Oh,
Tanzanite.
expensive. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they do come up quite pricey because most of them are called type 3 stones. And type 3 stones are stones that you cannot get absolutely clear in their natural form. And one thing I have to mention is that all our gemstones are 100% natural. It's straight from the ground into our lapidary, into the jewelry.
What
That's
does
it.
that mean? So what is everyone else doing?
So, like I mentioned before, the piece that we had seen before, it was heat treated. So there's a treatment in that. But we got the stone heat treatment originally, heat treated. But the stones that we originally deal with are all just straight from the ground, no treatment. So like emeralds, they have oil treatment applied to them so that it gives them a better appearance. It covers cracks, it hides the cracks, and so on. And some stones can be heat treated to improve their color. It's accepted in the trade, but we don't do it. We just want to deal with 100% natural stones.
Okay. And you said something earlier to me when I was complaining about the cost of these emeralds because they're really tiny and they're like 0.8 carats. And I thought they cost so much compared to what you can get, say, from Ethiopia or Nepal or somewhere in Asia.
The emeralds that we have in Zambia are only second to Colombia, and it's actually questionable at the moment. Personally, I think it's just because Colombia emeralds are more commercially known. But I think the quality of Zambian emeralds is superior to them. Maybe I'm just being a bit biased there, but that's what I think. They have a beautiful green to them. Some of the emeralds that you find have a tint of blue.
Yeah.
They have a bluish green color, or sometimes they're just pale. So the deeper the color of the emerald, the more expensive it gets. And also, the clearer the emerald, the more expensive it gets, because emerald is very difficult to find absolutely clear and flawless. It's extremely difficult.
And where do you normally where are emeralds mined?
In Zambia, mainly on the copper belt.
Okay. And is this just single source? Because I thought Gemfield sort of has a monopoly in Zambia.
There's a few small-scale mines on the copper belt that do supply emeralds, and we have some that are opening up in the central province as well. So there's a whole emerald belt that comes all the way from the north, coming down south. But the ones from central province are not the best quality. We haven't found any good quality. They do have that blue that I'm talking about. So they do have a bit of blue in them. They've got this bluish green color. So we tend to shy away from those.
So if someone say I'm, driving in the copper belt and someone offers me a stone, I can actually come to you and check that it's real, that that's a certification that you do. But should people be buying their own stones? Do you recommend that?
I wouldn't recommend it. If you have no experience in gemstones, you're taking a huge risk. You can overpay, or you can just pay for something that isn't what it is. There's lots of fakes, there's lots of synthetics. So you do need someone experienced to guide you through it.
Okay. And we talked earlier before the show started about why Zambia has so many minerals.
The geographical location of Zambia is excellent. I mean, now we get into some kind of geology. We have the perfect breeding ground for gemstone formation here. So this all happened millions and millions of years ago. So come to the equatorial belt, Congo, and going westwards from us towards Brazil, you find that these areas are so rich in gemstones. They're so rich in so many gemstones. And it's basically because of the formation and the crust of the earth, and it just kind of filters down to us coming further south to Zambia, Zimbabwe, and all the way down to South Africa.
Okay. So, a lot of my friends in Asia invest in jewelry a lot because of the appreciation. Do we have that, sort of dynamic in Zambia where if I buy emeralds from you today, I'll be able to actually save money and sell them in like 5 years at a premium?
It's something that people are starting to learn now. For instance, Russians invest in jewelry so that they hold their money there. So if you buy a good piece of jewelry, you know you're buying it as an investment. In a few years' time, it should be worth ideally much more than what you paid for it. So a few people are coming up and learning that concept, especially with emeralds. We have something called investment grade emeralds. These are the purest form of emeralds. Like I said, these are the clearest emeralds. They cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Buy it now, 10 years, 20 years from now, it will be worth a whole lot more.
So is it only emeralds that you'd recommend? And let's just have, I know you're a jeweler, but let's have an honest conversation. What are the stones that I should be investing in that I will probably realize something in a couple of years? So it's not everything.
Emeralds, sapphires, and rubies.
Even though we don't have good rubies yet.
Well, the color might not be the best, but we do have some pretty good rubies here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that there is a way that we grade rubies, and it's really about the intensity of the red in them. We are not finding that intense red ruby here yet. We're finding it in Mozambique, which is just our neighbor. It's in abundance there. But we haven't found it here yet. The rubies that we have here shift towards a pink color. So they're pinkish red color.
And do we buy stones? I mean, the Zambians buy a lot of stones from neighboring countries other than diamonds in Botswana?
Well, to my knowledge, no. Sometimes we do have to import stones if someone has a special request that we can't fulfill. Like, for example, alexandrite. Alexandrite is not native to Zambia.
Okay.
It's also a stone for the month of June. It's moonstone and alexandrite, but it's extremely expensive. It's only found in Russia. And if someone requests it, we have to find it. We have to source it.
So your client came to you and said, I want this particular stone. So is that how it works? Your clients come to you and say, I want a stone or piece of jewelry made with this stone, and it's your job to go and find it.
Exactly. That adds to the whole customization and experience of shopping with us because, like I said, they get exactly what they want.
And what if it's an unreasonable request? Have you ever had one of those?
Nothing is unreasonable. Nothing is unreasonable. I mean, the sky's the limit. If someone tells me they want a green diamond, I'll look for it. If I find it, hey.
Okay. And what's the most expensive piece of jewelry that you've made for your client?
We made a multicolored tourmaline ring that was set in gold.
Okay.
It was a cocktail ring, and it cost quite a bit of money.
So when you say cocktail, like a big rock?
It did have a big rock on it, and it also had some other tourmalines on the side of it. But recently as well, we did make something for a gentleman, 18-karat gold wrist bangle. It was just solid gold, 18 carats, big, fancy, nice. That was quite costly too.
When you say quite costly, are we talking in the range of 5 to 10, 10 to 20, plus 20 over? Can you at least sell it?
$2,000 in that range.
Well, that's a lot for a guy in a bangle, right? Okay. That's really good, actually. That's really, because you say quite costly. So I'm adding zeros to the rings that you showed us before. Sorry, go on.
We can make anything, but it really depends on how much the client wants to spend. So if someone has $100,000 budget, we'll make it.
Okay, but your typical client base tends to spend how much?
Typically, they spend between $500 to $2,000. I think that would be an average kind of cost. Some do exceed that limit, but on average, $500 to $2,000.
I really like that. It means you can get, you're talking about rings as well for $500, right? So somebody starting up fresh from university, met the love of your life, want to get married, you can actually get good quality jewelry for $500. I think that's a really good message because everyone thinks it's multiples. Like, I don't expect a cheap ring because I'm old, but you see, that's the thing. So like expectations. So people want a ring, but it has to be commiserate to their budget, right?
Correct. And we try to guide the grooms when they're buying something for their fiancés. You know, it's just not a matter of buying a ring. You can go and get your mass-produced rings, but would you like your fiancé to have a ring that someone else is wearing? You know, just, you know how women are. She goes to a party and sees her ring on another woman's finger, and yeah. So when you customize, you're assured that wherever you go, you're the only one wearing it.
And do most men know what they're looking for, or is your job to actually help them
No, with
figure
the
that
guys,
out?
you have to guide them a lot. A lot of women know what they want.
Okay.
With the men, we have to guide them a little bit.
So give me an example of like one of your favorite or funniest stories.
Someone wanted a ring that looked like a guy's ring, and I just had to say no. I can't make that for your wife. It looks like a man's ring, and he's like, but I like it. But, whoa, you like it. You're not buying it for you, you're buying it for her. So let's start afresh. Let's look at what she likes. And we did come up with something after that.
I really like that. I love it. The story is amazing. So if you're watching this show, because I am convinced, people say, oh, with coronavirus and lockdown, there'll be a lot of divorces. But I think actually being separated from your partner is going to force a lot of people to propose. So I have a feeling you're going to be very busy. So we've got a few questions online, actually, and some comments. So we've got a comment here from Jay Gaz Zambia, who says it's lovely to listen to two inspirational Zambians and learn about our natural resources. And big congratulations to you, Mukosha and Eleora Gems. So I think that's great. Thank you for the comment. And we've actually got a question from Sikana Andrew. How easy is it for a Zambian to register to get a mining license, and what's the process?
Well, that would have to be dealt with the Ministry of Mines. You have to start from the Ministry of Mines. Firstly, you have to go to the Geological Survey Department, actually, and they give you a form that you need to fill out. There's a criteria that you need to meet, and once you've met that criteria, you can take your application over to the Ministry of Mines. The license doesn't take too long, probably about 2 weeks, and you have your license.
Only 2 weeks?
Yeah, about 2 weeks, and you have your license.
And do you know how much it costs?
Off the top of my head, I think a small-scale mining license or an artisanal license is about 500 kwacha, which is what? At today's rate, $25.
What? So I can be mining my own amethyst in Kalomo. Do you say Kalomo?
Yeah. So all you have to do is identify the land. When you go to the Geological Survey Department, make sure the land is free, because they've had a few cases where people apply for licenses, then they go on site and find a village. So, of course, it's impractical.
Well, but does it have to be your land, or can it be community land?
If it is community land, you have to get consent from the head of the community. So that's either the headman or the chief.
Okay. Okay, so Andrew, I hope that's useful for you to go and set up your mine. But why haven't you got into mining, given all your knowledge and your business?
It will be a bit too much. We can't control every aspect of the production chain. I think it will just be too much. If we spread our hands, our wings too wide, we'll be inefficient somewhere else. So for instance, if we focus too much on the mining aspect, we might lose time and resources on the production side. So we have left that for the miners to do, and it's also our way of supporting them. Because if we start mining again, then we cut people out of the supply chain. So the trickle-down effect has to be felt. When we sell a piece of jewelry, it's because we bought it from a small-scale miner, so a small-scale miner has benefited. When we're producing the jewelry, it's because we're working with a silversmith, so he or she has benefited. And then finally, we sell it off.
I think that's great. And actually, it's a great leading point to this question about the foundation, because you told me that you have this idea to set up a foundation and to help the small-scale miners. So do you just want to share that with us?
Yeah, so when I did my travels around the country, I noticed that most of the small-scale mining communities are not benefiting from the resources that they have. So we came up with an idea to say we could possibly set up cooperatives in these mining communities, and we have a foundation. So when we sell off our jewelry, a piece of that profit can go into the foundation as a pool and then spread out to the small-scale mining communities. Then they can decide what they want to do through the cooperatives.
And that's great because corporate partners will always be looking for foundations to help them with
Yeah,
their corporate social
we
responsibility.
can't keep on looking for instance, government assistance to help the communities. The businesses can actually do something themselves. So as a business, that's a way that we feel we can contribute into the communities and contribute into the economy of the country.
I love that. I love that you're giving back. We've got another question from Gaz Zambia. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing this right, but they're asking, we're aware that you enjoy cutting stones. How did you get into this? So you kind of touched on that, but maybe you can add another spin to your passion for cutting stones.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine. He taught me how to cut, so pretty much I'm self-taught. He went to a lapidary school, and I spent so much time with him, and he was extremely patient with him. I owe him so much. He taught me how to cut, how to polish, how to do everything I know, really.
Wow. And it's so you have a partner, like you founded this, co-founded this with your wife, I think.
Yes, she was very instrumental, and she's still very instrumental in the business. She has a full-time job, so I use her mainly for quality control because a lady's eye is a special eye, I think. She can notice the most minute mistake, and if there is a mistake, I send it back. Do it again.
Well, we've actually got clarification of who Gaz Zambia is. It's actually the Jewelry and Gemstone Association of Zambia. So thank you so much for watching the show. What is this association? Are you a member of it?
Yes, she's a friend of mine, actually, Francesca. Hi, Francesca, if you're watching, which you are. Based in the UK, we've been talking over a year or so. We are passionate about gemstones. We are passionate about making sure that the gemstone industry in Zambia is well known, it's well regulated, that people start benefiting from gemstones. So we are working together with her to just bring everything up to speed.
Oh, that's great. And we've got a question from my friend Taz, who's another one of the people who's always on my show. Thank you, Taz. Love you for your support. And she asked, if you had a magic wand, what would you like to see change to put African-owned luxury brands on the map? This is a great question, Taz. Thank you.
Wow. If I had a magic wand, I would really try and change the perception that exists that everything that's coming out of Africa is inferior. It just isn't true. We have extremely high quality products that are coming out of Africa at the moment. And for the people who have been brave enough, I would say, to order something from Africa, they're usually shocked and they think, no, this can't be from Africa. Another thing I have to emphasize on is because we hand make everything, it will never be like the mass-produced stuff. That stuff is made by machines. So they can get the accuracy down to a micromillimeter. We can't do that. The accuracy will be good, but not that intense down to a micromillimeter. So the quality that we're producing at the moment, it's absolutely amazing. And I would really urge anyone out there who's watching, if you want to try something new, if you want to be unique, try something African, try something Zambian. I have a friend who's based in Denmark, in Nongazita Jewellery. She's doing some amazing jewelry, and not many people know about her. So I just wish we could change that perception, and so that people don't think everything African is inferior. It's an inferior product. It's going to break, it's going to crack, it's going to, I wish I could change that immediately.
I love that response. I mean, one of the reasons why I launched Ongolo was to change the narrative about Africa and Africans, that we can't be trusted, that we don't deliver quality. And I love your response to this. So I think, I mean, just to answer Taz's question, I think one of the big changes is actually communication and getting word out about what exists. And I think it's great that you're talking to me. It's great that you've got your website coming up. You're on Instagram, you're on Facebook. So I think it's just, spreading the word and doing some active marketing. E-commerce as well with your website, you'll be able to do that. You're already accepting PayPal, which I think is great because using established means of payment means you have some protection as the consumer. So I think people need to understand that. And I guess it's also just like the pricing. So we're starting with, you've got some great range of products. So this is the luxury market. So how are we pushing the emeralds, which are the premium for Zambia, in addition to everything else that's coming up. So I think we just need to be able to offer different things to different clients. But I do believe that Africa should be on the map, and I think that you're on your way to getting there. And I'm looking forward to buying at least 2 pieces from you, one for my mom's birthday and one for myself.
Would appreciate your support.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited. So I know we're coming up to the hour. So do you have any final words, any messages to people watching the show? Maybe still a little skeptical about whether they can do a handcrafted. What's your pitch?
Well, if I had a message for anyone out there, just be brave, just be bold, try something new. You never know what you might get. I mean, like I said before, my background is IT. I never expected to own a jewelry business, but everything I've done in my past kind of led up to this point. I loved art when I was in high school. I did technical drawing, so I can design stuff. And everything has just blended together. So just be brave, try something new. I'm talking to entrepreneurs at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to try something new, because I'm just an ordinary guy trying to do something extraordinary. And I think I will succeed because I've chosen not to give up. And for the consumers, I would urge you to try African brands. African brands will shock you. Things have changed. We have moved beyond that stereotype of inferiority, of fake, of all that. We're getting our credentials. We have our houses in order. We're getting great material. We're producing wonderful things. So give it a shot. When you buy from Africa, because everything is here, all the resources are here, you'll be saving quite a pretty penny as well. I mean, a high-end boutique store might sell the same item that I might sell for $10,000, and you get it from us for $2,000, $3,000. So try African, just give it a shot.
I love that. So actually, before we wrap up, I want to just acknowledge some of the people who are on. So Taz actually has a follow-up comment. She says, totally agree. We need to support African businesses. And I totally agree with you, Taz. We've got a comment here from Shanique. I hope I pronounced that correctly, who is giving you some props. And then let's see who else is online. It's always great to show people who've dialed in. So I've already said hello to my mother. We've got someone from called Christabel, who's watching from Kawe. So thank you so much. We've got Nasiku. Thanks for watching. Watching also from Zambia, says the stones look amazing. So I'm hoping you will buy something. And then thanks a lot to Salome as well, giving you props. So I think it's just really great to see people actually acknowledging and appreciating the products that you're doing. And I think we need to encourage each other as Africans. And so, yeah. So, thank you so much for making the time to come and for allowing me to show your products. I'll put them on the Facebook page for anyone else who missed this or wants to see the products in better detail. But yeah, thank you so much. I think there's one more message. Hold on a sec. Oh, okay. So Shanique says she's your friend. She's proud of you. And she's watching from Germany. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Okay, and Mafipe. Hold on a second. You've got a client who's actually saying that he's bought your products and can vouch for its quality. Hi, Mafipe. Thanks so much for watching. And someone else could give you.
Yeah.
He made something for him. I hope he's the gold bangle guy.
I made something for his wife for his birthday. It was a really nice piece.
Okay, I know them both. I know Capella and Mafipe. So that's really good. It's good for me as well to know that people I know have bought your products, because then I can at least attest that you make good stuff. So word of mouth is still important, but we're going Pan-African. So we're here on the show. We're promoting you and supporting you. So I hope people in Africa actually buy your products. And we've got one final comment from Christine. It says, great for Africans to build our own institutions. I agree with you, Christine. Thank you so much. And so Mukosha, thank you again for coming on to the show. And I'm sure you and I will be in touch to make loads of nice pieces.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot. All right. So thank you everyone for watching the show. Bread and Butter will be live every Wednesday at the same time, 3 p.m. Central Africa time. If you're interested in appearing on the show, please reach out to me on my email address, which is hello@ongolo.com. And again, I thank you for watching and see you next week.